Right, we're live now. Namaste everyone, welcome to Hindi University. Really excited to have all of you this Sunday. As you know, my name is Ashutosh and we meet every Sunday 8 a.m. US Pacific time, which is time on the west coast of the US to learn about the Hindi language. For those of you who are new to Hindi University, you can learn more about us by going to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Hindi University. You can also go to our website, which is hindiuniversity.org, and find out about all the programs that we have. I provided a little bit of information for you if you are completely new to HU. And if you want to join the Sunday classes, like many of us are joining right now, you can use the Zoom link that you see right in front of you and join the classes. Okay, no prerequisite, no other criteria. You simply have to use the Zoom link and make sure that you have a stable Wi-Fi. Okay. And in addition to the Sunday classes, we have several practice sessions throughout the week, and which are conducted by all the HU members, and so that way you can become part of that also and practice with your peers, some of the people who know more than you, and then they'll guide you as well. If you want to join the WhatsApp group that we have, just to kind of make sure that we gradually onboard you into different programs, you can use this link to join the WhatsApp. Okay. As you know, this year we finished 2 books, Pingu Learns Hindi. We cover pretty much all the topics of covered in the Pingu Learns Hindi book, which is the book by Hindi University. And the second one is Elementary Hindi, which is a book written by Professor Richard Delacy and Professor Sudha Joshi. Richard Delacy is also a professor at the Harvard University, and the good news is he'll be joining us next week, next Sunday, and he'll be speaking with us. So please mark your calendar to join the talk with Professor Richard Delacy, and feel free to ask any questions you may have, or you ask, send your questions to me so I can ask as well. Okay. So as I briefly mentioned, that we have practice sessions throughout the week in addition to the Sunday classes. And before I jump into today's topic, I want to kind of like go over one of the practice sessions which will be starting soon. And we have Himani ji with us, and I'm gonna gradually add her so she can kind of talk about the practice sessions that she'll be leading soon. So Himani ji, feel free to unmute yourself, and welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ashuji. So we will start a new group on the 8th of November. And this group is called Story Weaver 1. So for you who don't know what Story Weaver is, it's a great website where we can find a lot of different children's books in a lot of different languages. And there are many books in Hindi, and we will read one story each week. And Sheila Ji has already done a fantastic job going through all the Story Weaver 1 books, but we will start all over again. So we will start from the first book. And we will do the books who have, it's called Read Along. So it's a native speaker who has already read the book for us. So we can listen and we will practice reading. We'll take turns reading. We will translate what we are reading. Yeah, so that's basically what we will be doing.
So students, do they need to know something before they join the practice sessions, or do they need to be familiar with the Devanagari script, or what do you expect? Like what level of folks should be, joining the Story Weaver practice sessions?
Yeah, it's good if you are familiar with the Devanagari because it's written with the Hindi script. So that is good. You don't have to be a quick reader. We will help each other out. If you only want to read one sentence, that's fine. If you only want to listen in, that's fine as well, of course. But it's good if you have at least started to read a little bit.
Awesome. That's wonderful. Anyone has any questions? Feel free to ask, Himani
Yeah.
ji now
I
or during
posted
the.
some info now in the chat as well. A link to the Storyweaver level 1 books where you can find all the ones with audio and how to sign up on Discord. So there is one group on Discord called Practice Sign Up. If you write there that you want to be part of Storyweaver 1 Fall 2024, then you will be guided into our group.
Did you
Wonderful.
mention the time and date? I didn't hear the time and date.
Oh yeah, sorry. So it's the 8th of November. I don't think I wrote that. So starting on the 8th November. And time is 10 a.m. UTC, 11 a.m. CET, and 3:30 p.m. Indian time. Those are the three ones I wrote. The rest of you have to figure it out.
Yeah, no, we'll post it, and as you become part of the Discord, the bot will automatically update you about the class and when it will be starting the practice sessions, right? So that way, even though wherever you may be located, you don't have to kind of change the time, and you will get to, know, in advance about when the practice session will be starting. Okay. In general, one thing I want to highlight, like, it's because we have folks joining from everywhere, and we just want to make sure there is a genuine intent is there of, even if you may not be able to right away participate, so be it. And it's always okay to make a mistake, because that's how we learn, right? We just ask you to kind of have the camera on, because the rest of the folks will be, will have their camera on. So if you're completely new, we request you to keep the camera on, so people are familiar with you and who you are, and that you are a legitimate and genuine learner. Once you're familiar with everyone, people understand, and they will cooperate with you. Yeah. Himaniji, thank you so much. And I'm really looking forward to this practice session myself, and we will have a great sign up there. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Of course. All right, thank you so much. And then now we'll jump to the grammar topic that usually we have. So I just want to kind of highlight that, like, since we have finished the elementary Hindi book, what we wanted to cover is some of the difficult topics that we have seen throughout this year, okay, and then revise those. So one of the topics that came up was, like, we have covered in Hindi, we have covered past indefinite, and we have covered variations of past indefinite tense, right? And then similarly, we've also covered versus present perfect. So we have covered scenarios in both the tenses. This class is really the compare and contrast, when to use past indefinite tense in Hindi and when to use the present perfect tense. Okay, what is sort of the differences that you see in the scenarios, okay, and when will you use which one. Okay, so imagine, we are, just talking in general, regardless of the language, whether it is Hindi, English, or any of your native language. Okay, let's say I'm going to put one of you on the spot, right? So, let's say I ask you, what did you do yesterday? A very simple question. So all of you think about, how would you respond to that? What did you do yesterday? Okay. Jackie ji, you want to unmute yourself, and what would you respond? How would you respond to that?
मैंने कल केक बनाया.
Okay. मैंने केक बनाया. Okay. How will you say it in English? Simple. I
made a cake.
Very good. I made a cake. Same thing. Let's say this year you took classes of how to make cake, and you learned it. Okay. If you have to share that with your friends, how would you say that?
मैंने
Hmm?
केक बना सिखाया.
Okay. So let's say you say it in English. Forget about the Hindi part. Let's say you want to just talk about that you gained this skill to make a cake.
I learnt how to make a cake.
Very good. You'll say, I have learned to make a cake. Right? Okay. Something similar. We'll do one more. Very good. Right? This is exactly what I wanted. Okay. Let's say, Shanji, you have to do something similar. What did you do yesterday?
मैं जिम गया.
Okay, very good. So you will say, I went to the gym. Okay. Same thing. Let's say now you want to focus on not the aspect that you went to the gym, but you want to focus on that you got fit, basically, as a result of you going to the gym, right? How will you say that? Or let's say you have reduced Uh, you gotten fit or you reduce your weight? How will you say that?
Um, I have gotten stronger.
Okay, very good. I have gotten. I'll give you that. I have gotten stronger. I have got stronger. Okay. These are just to kind of get you thinking. But if you notice, there are two types of sentences in this category. I made a cake or I went to the gym. The focus is on really the what did you do yesterday or like in the recent past, right? Uh, you may give the specific time even though it's optional, but really the focus is on that what happened, the activity that got completed in the past. Okay, versus if you look at this category, it's really the focus is on the experience. It's on the experience that you gained. The thing that we are talking about, the experience you may have gained in the past, but there are still sort of lingering effect of that. You are enjoying the result of it. Okay. So there is still sort of like some notion that I made the cake, or I'm sorry, I've made the cake, or I've learned how to make a cake. So the focus is really on the experience. You may have done it in the past, but you're still sort of like seeing the effect of it. Okay. So whenever the focus is on the sort of the activity you did it in the past, but there are still relevance to it in the present, you will use the present indefinite tense. Versus something that you did in the past, less on experience or no, not on experience, then you will just use the past indefinite. And that's regardless of the language. Same thing goes in English also. Okay. So I'll break it down, both of them, both the situations, so that way you can see the compare and contrast. Okay, for both past indefinite and present perfect tense. Okay, so it's past, one more time, past indefinite, and you have present perfect. Okay, so this one is you want to focus on you want to talk about the specific past time. Okay, so for example, I made the cake yesterday, or I went to the gym yesterday. Even though yesterday is optional, but you still want to talk about specific past time. Versus here, it's not necessarily that specific. You don't really want to really highlight. You can say I have learned cake this year, but it's not that hard and fast. Versus like in the first case. Okay. um, this one, you want to focus on completed action, something that got completed. Here also it's completed, but effects of the action are still relevant. For example, I've had my lunch. Okay. So I've had my lunch even though I had it, but so basically it implies that I'm no longer hungry. Okay, I have washed my clothes, which means the action is completed. I can do something else now. Okay. um, I have traveled to India, or have seen the Taj Mahal. Okay, so basically, I have gained that experience. It may imply that I don't have to repeat that again. I can do something else. Versus I traveled to Taj Mahal, just specifying that you visited the place. It doesn't give any more information than that. Okay. Um, so you use the past indefinite mostly when you are involved in any kind of a storytelling. Okay, storytelling, or sequence of events. So imagine like you are telling a story, like even about yourself or something. Or yesterday I went to the gym. I saw a bunch of people in the gym. They worked hard. They did the class for an hour. So you keep going, and you sort of building the story in the past indefinite. Okay. Right now we are giving the examples and explanation in English, but it's still relevant in Hindi also. You can do the same thing. मैं कल जिम गया, मैंने लोगों को देखा, and then you keep going on, you keep building that. Okay. Versus the storytelling or sequence of events versus when you have life experiences. Here we want to focus on life experiences, or you can also talk about achievements. Achievements. Okay, so this is the quick summary for when to use the past indefinite versus when to use the present perfect tense. Okay, now
Can
yes,
I ask a question?
yes, please.
I'm trying to learn it in English. So yesterday, I went to visit my sick brother in the hospital. So I know how to say मैं अपने बीमार भाई से hospital no बीमार भाई से मिलने hospital गया था. So I went to so that's a past tense.
That's
How would
correct.
it become in the present perfect? What
Yeah,
would it
so
be
we,
in
we will
English?
we'll talk
Oh,
about
okay.
that. Right? If you
Can
want
I?
to, you will say that in past indefinite, by the way. If you want to, if you want to say that I have gone to the hospital, right?
Okay.
If you want to say that, you will use the, there are two ways to say that. I hope you guys all wrote it. One is you can say मैं hospital जा चुका हूँ, which means that if you want to convey that I've already been to the hospital and you want to imply that okay I've got this covered, we don't have to worry about it, or we can think about something else now. Okay, that's the number one way to say it. मैं hospital जा चुका हूँ. Second thing you can say is मैं hospital मैं हॉस्पिटल गया हूँ. ओके, यू कैन से दैट एज वेल. मैं हॉस्पिटल गया हूँ. ओके, जा चुका हूँ इज वेरी कॉमन. इट गोज वेरी इजीली विद how in that particular template, like the चुका हूँ form goes very easily. Okay, how about
Can,
other folks? Anyone want to kind of share your thoughts? How
can
else would you want to say it
oh,
in a simpler Hindi? Okay. All right, Sanjay, your question. I think once we dig deeper, it'll be much easier. But yeah, any
can I,
counter? Yeah, go
oh,
ahead,
can I
Sanjay.
ask a question? So I have traveled to India is an experience, but it could also be like, where did you go? I have traveled to India. Like it
Yes.
could also be is that the same thing or is that different?
So basically, you're asking the question if somebody asked me, like, where did you go in India? Is that
Uh,
is that
I guess like I have traveled to India. I can imagine like you're in a conversation and someone's like, "Oh, I have traveled to India," or someone's calling you and it's like, "Where are you?" And it's like, "Oh, I have traveled to India." Like, is that when you're saying
so?
both of those, is that the same sentence kind of?
So yeah, I mean, it's really the context in which you're saying it. When you want to highlight the experience rather than like the action, you even in English also. Or this year I've if you want to retrospect and reflect what have you done this year. Okay, I've traveled to India. Okay, I've learned Hindi language. I've taught a lot of practice classes. Okay, I've gotten fitter, right? So you want to highlight those, you are highlighting those experiences, and it naturally the present perfect is coming from the sentences. Okay, it just goes smoothly. Okay, you can still say it, right? If you want to force that, I still say the life experiences in the past tense? Yes, you can, right? No harm in that. I'm just showing you the subtle difference that it goes naturally when you want to talk about experiences, or rather than the past event which are still relevant today, right? I mean, so when you want to focus on, okay, in January I went there, and then in February I met this person, you're describing that specific thing that you did in the past. Yeah, I mean, again, you gain experience from that, but the focus is less on the experience, um, but rather the action on the past. Yeah, Jackie.
Thank you. So those English sentences
Uh-huh.
all had the word have in them. So is
Yes,
that a clue that if you're saying I have done something, that you'd use the Gaia who? So it would
that is
have the hair who or hair at the end of it.
that is correct. That is a clue. I was
Right.
just trying not to say because in
Oh,
English,
sorry.
like when you're learning English as a foreign language, naturally, like if there's a has and have, that's a perfect tense. But let's say the reason I was asking you the question without telling you use have and has is so that you naturally think about okay, I've gained something as a result of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
You're right about it. Like, there is, you will be, in English, you'll be using has or have for present perfect, versus in the past indefinite, you're just using the third form, basically, that I went to India, or I drank water, or I completed this trip, okay, or I swam, or I ate. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now, yes, go ahead.
So I sat my driving test yesterday versus I passed my driving test yesterday. One would be in the past definite, and the second one would be in the past perfect. Is that right?
So one more time, I passed my exam.
I sat my driving test yesterday. That's a
Okay.
completed action. That would be the past indefinite, yes?
That's right. I passed my driving test yesterday. It's a past
Yeah.
indefinite.
It's past indefinite. Oh, even if you gained something by passing it rather than by sitting it. Because if you say you sat your test, that doesn't mean to say whether you passed it or not. It's just
So
that's just
so
a completed action.
so two contrasting sentences I'll make. I passed my driving test yesterday, past indefinite. But let's say you want to convey that, you know what, I don't have to worry about it. I can just, like, I have passed my driving test. That means I can focus on driving, or I can worry about what next do I have to do. Do I need to register my car before I start driving on the road, or do I need to do something else? So basically, that's what you're implying in the second sentence, that you want to give more information. This action was done in the past, but it's still relevant today because you want to focus on the next thing, or you want to convey that information.
So if you were just telling someone that you sat the test yesterday without giving them any indication that you had passed it or failed it.
You sat, or what I'm hearing, one is past. This is clear.
Ah,
Is that what you're saying? I
yes,
sat.
yes.
So I have, or just sat? I sat in the exam.
I sat the exam yesterday.
Okay. So okay. So if I am saying I have sat in the exam yesterday, one thing is I want to highlight the experience, that I have gained the experience of sitting in the exams. Okay, it's less on that you did it yesterday, but more on that you gained something from that experience. Okay, or the second option is you want to highlight that, you or to the listener, that you want to focus on next thing now. This is no longer a worry for us. That's why I can drive you guys. I have passed the exam. I have the your driver license. We can do the trip. Okay, many ways to interpret that, Sheila ji. But yeah, many ways to interpret that about what the speaker is thinking of conveying there. Maybe we'll do some more examples. Maybe then hopefully this will kind of clear it up. Yeah.
Ashuji, I have yet another question.
Yes.
Okay. Are there sentences? Suppose I said, I have gone to see a movie yesterday. मैं कल एक film देखने गया था. Okay, that's past. Is that correct? Now, does it convert to something present perfect in English?
Yeah. So one is you want to highlight the experience of the movie, or you want to say that, like, you've already seen the movie. For example, I ask you, let's go watch this movie. Let's say 3-2, and you're
Okay.
like, I have watched it. I basically, you want to say that you want to watch something else because you've already seen it. Okay, you can say this. You can respond in both the sentences. You can use past indefinite, which is I watched it yesterday. Okay,
Okay.
you're saying that you watched it. Second is you
Okay.
want to say I have already watched it. Okay, मैं मूवी देख चुका हूँ और मैंने मूवी
Okay,
देख
okay.
मैंने मूवी देख ली है. You can say it both ways. चुका हूँ and देख ली है. Okay, both will be fine. In which you're highlighting that you know what, I've seen it. Can we watch something else? Okay, yeah. So let's do. I'll make two simple sentences again, just to kind of like do the compare and contrast. I expect at least folks know the basic formations for both past indefinite and present perfect, but hopefully there will be revision as well. So let's say you want to, in the past simple or past indefinite, you want to highlight that I drank water. Okay, I drank water. I want all of you to write it in your Zoom chat, or at least think about how will you say that. If you're watching on Facebook, please do that as well. I drank water. Versus you want to say the same thing in present perfect, where you want to say that you want to imply that you're no longer thirsty. Okay, you're not thirsty now. I drank water. Nandini ji, how will you say that one? I drank water.
मैंने पानी
Okay,
पिया
very good. मैंने पानी पिया.
पिया
Okay, why ne?
ने because it's a drinking is a transitive verb in Hindi. So I'm drinking something. I drank water. So pina being transitive, it takes ne for the past tense. So मैंने, and the ne blocks the me. So the pani takes over. So pani is masculine, so it's piya.
Okay, because pani is masculine, you
And
remove.
pina becomes piya.
Very good. Okay, if it is instead of pani, if it is smoothie, yeah, if it is chai, it will be
मैंने चाय पी.
chai. There you go, right? Because chai is feminine. In past indefinite, it's no longer about the gender of the subject, but gender of the object, right? And based on that, you will change the form of the verb, right? So it's मैंने पानी पिया versus मैंने चाय पी. Okay, same thing, Nandini ji. You want to highlight that you are no longer thirsty. Okay,
I have drunk water.
Huh?
मैंने पानी पी लिया है.
Very good. मैंने पानी पी लिया है. Okay, मैंने पानी पी लिया है. So you are using पीना plus लेना together.
लेना.
मैंने पानी पी लिया है. Okay, मैंने पानी पी लिया है. Let's say you want to use the form चुका हूँ, चुकी हूँ. How will you say that?
That doesn't take me, isn't it? I mean, that's
Yeah,
what
it
I
does
really
not.
remember.
It is
मैं पानी पी चुकी हूँ.
मैं पानी पी चुकी हूँ. मैं पानी पी चुकी हूँ. Okay, you can use either form. Okay, the focus is on the experience, or you want to imply that you are no longer thirsty. You know, if you want to say this one, it's really saying that you drank it. It doesn't give any more information. I'll take a quick pause in case if anyone has any more sort of question there.
Ashuji, just a remark,
Yeah,
if
here
that's
you
okay.
cannot force. Yeah. Here you can just to highlight. Here you cannot force that. Okay, what is the experience here? Experience is just a general category. It may not fit into all the sentences or phrases, but it really the aspect that you're not thirsty now. Yes. What's the question, Nandini ji?
No, there's no question. I think very much like what Jackie ji said, because for these sentences, I'm able to directly translate from English to Hindi. If there's
Yeah.
a I have or I had is present perfect or past perfect, exactly translates to Hindi straight away. So
Yeah.
I don't think about whether the action is finished or not. If I say I have eaten, then I would use similar form in Hindi. That's how
Yeah.
I think, because if
Yeah.
I start thinking about the event and completion or not completed, it's very confusing for me, as
Yeah.
I'm not that good with grammar. So
Yeah.
it seems
No.
easier the way. Jackie
So,
G explained that have had means it's have is present perfect, had is past perfect. And so I
yeah.
will translate it.
No, that totally, and that's how any native speakers, or if you mastered it, that's how you will think. You'll not think about the rules per se, but it's really like this.
Yeah.
This question really comes when you've gone through all the grammars, basically all the grammar stuff, and you have extra time, and you're like, oh my God, I have learned everything. What is the subtle difference now,
Well,
right?
if somebody asks me, are you going to eat? No, I
Yeah,
have already eaten. That's what I would
yeah,
say.
yeah,
I have
totally.
drunk. I have had water. I have had water, something like that. So that is a yes or almost a yes or no questions where I'm
Yeah,
using have and no.
yeah. But like I think, let's say I'm learning, I don't know French, but let's say somebody's teaching me French, and I have, I'm facing these, and I don't know whether, I'm assuming French will also have both the tenses. I'm sure past definite, indefinite, definitely, it's there. But let's say what about,
Absolutely, absolutely, the Shuji. That's why you are the teacher, you're the master, and we just listen. And I just have some shortcuts. That's it.
yeah, totally. Right. So we'll keep going. Let's say you, same thing.
Ashish,
Yeah,
could I ask a question?
yeah.
In the present perfect, the first example up there, is it possible to do it without Lena? Could you do it without the compound verb?
Without this,
Yeah.
you can say मैंने. Yeah, you can say that मैंने पानी पिया है. You can say that. मैंने पानी
Yeah,
पिया.
okay. That's what I did. Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
totally fine. Yeah, मैंने पानी पिया है. Yeah. Next thing we'll do that about something similar to what Sunny ji mentioned about watching a movie. Let's say, well, now that I have a JDG, how will you say I watched a movie?
Mene,
Uh-huh.
film, uh, deka, dekta,
You tell me.
deka,
Film.
deki, deki.
Very good. Right? मैंने film देखी. Film is considered feminine. मैंने film देखी और मैंने movie देखी. You can also say मैंने picture देखी. Okay. You want to say that, let's say I ask you, let's go watch this movie, and you say, I've already watched it. How will you say that?
May film, uh, de, deka, chuka, hun,
So either you say मैं film देख and then
chuka hun.
मैं film देख चुका हूँ, and the second would be when you want to say देखना and लेना.
Oh, मैंने film, देख,
Uh-huh.
चुका, no, लिया है,
Okay. मैंने film
देख, oh, ली
Yeah, very good.
ली है.
मैंने film देख ली है. Okay. मैंने film देख ली है. Okay. Why Lee and why not Leah?
It's feminine because of film.
Yes,
Main
that's,
is blocked, so the masculine thing, me, is blocked, and we use film then.
yeah. Awesome. Anyone has any questions? Because we are jumping directly into, like, it's this class is about the compare and contrast. So I expect you to know somewhat basics of past indefinite and present perfect. But if this is bothering you about why we are using two different sort of verbs, combining it and conjugating the second one, like here you are simply, pina, you remove the na and you kept the base, and then now you are only playing with the second lena. Here
I
it's
have a
yeah.
quick dumb question. Why is it Dick Chuka Hu but Dick Lee Hai? Like, shouldn't is our why is it not Chuki if film is feminine?
Yeah, because here there is no ne, here
Ah,
is ne.
there's your name. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so when you have मैं, whoever is saying it, and if there is no post position attached to the subject, the gender of the subject is sort of modifying it. If I'm saying it or you are saying it, मैं फिल्म देख चुका हूँ, and if Nandini ji is saying it, she'll be मैं फिल्म देख चुकी हूँ.
I see, but the second one is because of the name.
Yeah,
Okay.
regardless of I or Himani ji or Jackie ji or anyone or Dev Kripa ji or anyone, they all say the same thing. मैंने फिल्म देख ली है. Yeah, it's really about what have you watched. Like all of us have watched. If you watch movie, then it's feminine. If you watch something else, like a TV show, then it's masculine. मैंने TV show देख लिया है. Yeah, let's do some more example, and then hopefully, if you do compare and contrast, it will kind of like develop this understanding, like because it's hard to put the category. I mean, why we're saying it's achievement, life experiences, or you want to imply something else. This thing has to come naturally. Otherwise, you will be like, okay, it's not fitting in this framework, right? So let's say you want to say that I finished. One is I have finished my work, okay. Versus you want to imply that it's the work is currently finished, and you can do something else, okay. Sebastian G.
Which was the sentence? Sorry.
You want to describe the two type of sentences you have to make. One is in past indefinite, where you want to focus on that you finished work, okay,
Okay.
or you finished the job. And the second one is you want to imply that it's the I have finished my work. You want to sort of imply that which means that you no longer have to worry about that one. Yeah.
Get it. Yeah. Can I say मैंने काम किया or पूरा किया or
Very good. मैंने काम किया. Okay, I finished the work. Okay.
हाँ
You can say I have finished my work. मैंने
अपना
मैंने अपना काम किया. Okay. Now second one.
मैंने अपना काम किया है.
Okay. मैंने अपना काम किया. You can say that मैंने
और काम लिया है.
मैंने अपना काम
Sorry. काम कर लिया है or
It's okay. You can say it multiple ways. You can say मैंने काम किया है. You can say मैंने काम कर लिया है.
okay.
This one comes naturally to most people because it has both karna and lena. Second, naturally that comes is like मैं अपना काम कर चुका हूँ. Okay, मैं अपना काम कर चुका हूँ. The thing that confuses people most is this form and this form. Where you have just had the exact same sentence, you just put in hai at the end. That confused the most. Because then it's like, okay, all of a sudden what the heck happened? Like it's the action is completed in the past. It looks like मैंने अपना काम किया. It looks like it's past indefinite. Now you just put in hai at the end. What do I make sense of it? Right? I mean, how should I sort of infer it? That's the most confusing one. The second and third, I think it gives you enough clues. Just like in English you have has and have, it kind of makes it very easy for you. You don't have to worry about it. Okay. But when, let's say, you're learning new the language and native speakers are sort of, they said something in the past and just put hai at the end, that confuses the most to the, if you, as you're sort of in the intermediate above level, like what the heck happened, because you're at the stage where you can catch everything that is being said, but like couple of things that just throws you off, right? So okay, next one. Let's say you want to talk about the act of making food, that you made the food versus you want to imply that food is ready to eat. Okay, Patrick ji, how are you doing? Just use the same pattern. I made the food.
I've already made the food.
Both I made the food versus I have made the food.
मैंने
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know.
Okay, I'll help you out. Food is khana.
Kana. Okay.
And to make is to
Not
make.
sure.
To make is banana.
No.
Right? Banana. So, yes, I think I have both of them. You have this. So, मैंने
Mene Kana.
very good. Look at the pattern. मैंने काम किया, मैंने पानी पिया, मैंने खाना.
Mene Kana Kia.
No, so the verb is
Oh,
banana.
Mene Kana. Mm, Banai.
Yeah, almost there.
Banaya.
Very good.
Bana.
मैंने खाना बनाया. There you go. मैंने खाना बनाया. Okay, I have made the food. मैंने खाना बनाया. Okay, so let's say I ask you like, what did you do yesterday? Oh, मैं घर गया. I went to house. Okay, मैंने खाना बनाया. मैंने खाना खाया. मैंने पानी पिया और मैं सोया. The entire sequence of event is said in past indefinite. It changes because some verbs I used are intransitive, which is like मैं घर गया. Right? मैं घर गया. To go, it's an intransitive verb. That's why there is no ne. Right? मैं घर गया. Right? मैं सोया. To sleep is also intransitive. Right? That's why मैं घर गया. मैं सोया. But in between all the things that you did, it's transitive verb, which is मैंने खाना बनाया. You make something, right? मैंने खाना बनाया. मैंने खाना खाया. You eat something. You don't sleep something or you don't go something. You go somewhere, right? I hope it is making sense, Patrick, right?
Mhm.
Ashuji,
Yes.
when can you use what's the difference between banana and pakana?
Yeah, I cooked versus it's the same thing, right? I mean, you it's like prepare versus to make versus to prepare. You can use either. Like it's really your choice of the verbs,
Okay.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
either way is fine. I use make because it's easier, right? It's like banana is like but yeah, of course, if you want to be specific, I cooked or I prepared. Yeah. Okay, Patrick, try this one also. Present perfect. You have all the templates. First is you take the sentence as it is, just put hai at the end.
Oh, okay. Mene Kana Banaya hai.
Very good. So you will say the same thing. मैंने खाना बनाया है. Second would be you will use banana and lena.
Mene Kana Bana
Mhm.
Banalia.
Very good. मैंने खाना बना लिया है. Very good. Simple, right? It's not hard. You just use two verbs, banana plus nena. In the first one, you remove the na. You just keep the base stem, bana, and you just put the second one as liya, liye or li. Yeah, and
Okay.
because there is a ne, it's really the gender of the khana. Okay.
Mhm.
If you are talking about chai or a tea, you will say मैंने चाय बना ली है. Okay.
Okay.
If you are talking about samosas, like हमने और मैंने समोसे बना लिए हैं. It's really the thing that you made, that the gender of that, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Versus the third one, मैं खाना बना चुका हूँ. मैं खाना बना चुका हूँ. I know it's hard.
Me Kana Bana Chukahun.
That's right. I'll take a pause. Any questions anyone has? Yes, Jackie ji.
Is it when there's the compound verb, is it always lena that goes with the main verb?
Yeah, awesome. Who would like to answer that one?
Well, in this example, it's like you're taking something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm taking food, or I'm taking chai. Is that why?
Yeah, yeah. But how about like the opposite? Can you use Dena also? I have started the school. What will you use Jackie ji there? Like right now we are saying Lena, right? I have started, I have started my work.
I've started my work. I have started my work.
Mhm.
मैंने अपना काम शुरू कर लिया है.
Okay, sorry. I wanted to say they. I wanted to say they started. So you can use by the way the other also. Okay, so you. I want to say मैंने शुरू कर लिया is fine. You can also say शुरू कर लिया है versus कर दिया है. I don't know if you recall. I think Nandini ji recalls it quite well. Lena versus Dena,
Yeah.
right? When do you use कर दिया है and कर लिया है? Who remembers that?
If you've already left money on the table, like you put it somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you remember that. Like कर दिया है. If it is going away from me for the benefit of others, is कर दिया है. कर लिया है is like Lena, when you're grabbing, it's coming towards you.
Okay.
Right? मैंने क्लास शुरू कर दी है, right? It's like for the others, okay? Versus like कर ली है, right? और मैंने क्लास ज्वाइन कर ली है, so you are saying it मैंने क्लास शुरू ज्वाइन कर ली है, okay? So that I can learn from it.
Okay.
I
Right.
don't want to confuse anything any further, but I hope it kind of ring the bell for you about when we
Oh,
did
it rings a bell. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, now we will do some more examples, and again the whole point is compare and contrast, just so that it's slightly more easier. Okay. Now let's say you want to talk about I read the book versus I have read the book. Okay, I want all of you to try it because we are going slightly slowly, which is fine, but at the same time I want everyone to be able to. So I'm going to give some time. Everyone should participate and write it. You want to say I read the book. I read the book versus I have read the book. It's something similar like I watched a movie versus I have watched a movie, but in the second one, you want to imply that you have knowledge of the book versus that you finished the action. So I want all of you to try it out. Very good, Sebastian ji. So just to kind of give more flavor to what Jackie ji mentioned, in the second one, I have read the book. You can use Lena and Dena both. Right? One is for yourself, one is for the others. Right? If I have read the book for everyone versus like I'm reading it too for myself. Yeah? Okay, I want all of you to try it out. I'll pick someone who's not done anything. Very good. Linda ji, how are you doing?
Me?
Yeah, how are you
Okay.
doing?
Namaste. Yeah, sorry, I have missed. I have not been here for like 2 months
Okay.
because I'm.
Don't be sorry. It's okay. It's all good. All right. You
Yeah.
want to? I read the book.
मैंने किताब पढ़ी.
Very good. मैंने किताब पढ़ी. Okay. Why पढ़ी?
Because kitab is feminine.
Right. So मैंने किताब पढ़ी. Okay. Next one.
मैंने किताब पढ़ी है.
Okay. Very good. So easiest would be मैंने किताब पढ़ी hai. Okay, you want to use lena and dena with it?
मैंने किताब पढ़ ली है
Very good. मैंने किताब पढ़ ली है and versus मैंने किताब.
मैंने किताब पढ़ दी है
There you go. When will, as I said, like if you are reading it for all of us, what will you use?
मैंने किताब पढ़ दी है
Yeah, that's right. When you're reading it for the bunch of group, right, for them to listen and absorb, मैंने किताब पढ़ दी है. If you're reading it for yourself, like मैंने किताब पढ़ ली है. Okay. And the next one, if चुका हूँ, चुकी हूँ would be मैं.
Actually, I was not here at the beginning, so I'm not sure about the chuka. मैं किताब पढ़ चुका whom?
Okay, because you are saying it, it would be मैं किताब.
पढ़ चुकी हूँ
There you go. मैं किताब पढ़ चुकी हूँ. There you go. Okay, मैं किताब पढ़ चुकी हूँ. Okay. Any questions on this one? Anyone?
Can you also do मैं किताब पढ़ ली चुका हूँ? Like I don't, it can, or no, absolutely no.
No, you will not do that because you're mixing two things. Like so,
Okay.
you will not make it up. You know, you will not mix both of them. You will just keep it separate.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Anyone else? Okay. I'm gonna read it now. I'm gonna read fast in the interest of time. I'm not gonna write it down. You have to make sense of it. Okay. So first one is, उसने अपना सामान पैक कर लिया है. Okay. उसने अपना सामान उसने अपना सामान पैक किया. That's number one. Versus उसने अपना सामान पैक कर लिया है. Okay, I hope everybody was able to. Sanjay ji, you want to unmute yourself? उसने अपना सामान पैक किया versus उसने अपना सामान पैक कर लिया है.
He has set his bag, some things. He has saman. Say it again, sorry.
उसने अपना बैग पैक किया. That's number one. उसने अपना सामान और अपना बैग पैक किया. That's number one. And number two is उसने अपना बैग पैक कर लिया है और सामान पैक कर लिया है.
He has packed his bags.
That's number two. Okay, where the action is completed and now it's you may imply that the packing is done. He can do check-in and whatnot.
He packed his bags.
That's the first one. उसने अपना सामान पैक किया. There you go. Awesome. Okay. I changed the topic. This is hard. I changed the topic versus I have changed the topic. Okay. I changed the topic versus I have changed the topic. Okay. Devkripaji, why don't you try? And if you don't know the English word for topic, you can use just topic. It's okay. Unmuted? Yeah, I think I can hear you.
Topic, I don't know.
Just say change. It's okay. You can say change karna.
मेरे topic change
किया. Okay. Okay. Versus.
मेरे topic change किया है.
There you go. Okay. Topic in Hindi is vishay. Vishay. So it's a verb with e and then sh. This kind of a sh with e. Vishay. Vishay. It's like a topic. Okay. It's also means subject. If you are taking any Hindi classes, like it's also like which subjects are you taking. That's also vishay. But when you're talking about a particular topic, that's vishay. Okay. To change is badalna. Okay, मैंने विषय बदला, I changed the topic. Okay, versus मैंने विषय बदल दिया है. Okay, so विषय mean two things. One is subject or versus the topic. I mean, that's the same thing, subject. I changed subject. Yeah, okay. Let's do some more quickly, just to kind of get you guys thinking. You want to say that, okay, Kamra Saf, you've done it multiple times. So why don't we do it again though? It's okay. You want to say, I cleaned the room earlier today versus I have cleaned the room. Let's say who's not done it before. Sharmila ji, I cleaned the room earlier today versus I have cleaned the room.
तो मैंने पहले आज पहले कमरा साफ किया.
Okay, versus
मैंने कमरा साफ किया है.
okay, versus you can also say
मैंने कमरा साफ साफ चुका है.
मैं कमरा साफ कर चुकी हूँ.
कर
You can
चुकी. अच्छा.
you can also use the compound verb कर लेना and कर देना, and you will say, when you're saying it, you will say
मैंने कमरा साफ ली है.
साफ
और मैं साफ ली कर साफ
कर
कर ली है. साफ कर ली है.
कमरा. Okay, so कमरा would be masculine, so मैंने कमरा साफ कर
साफ कर 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 लिया.
हाँ, very good, कर लिया है, or you can say कर दिया है. Either way is fine, right? कर लिया है, कर दिया है, either way is fine. Yeah. Awesome. Anyone else would like to share any sentences? Let's see this one. I learned swimming last summer versus I have learned swimming. I'll take this thing from Sharon ji, and then Nandini ji, I'll take the questions or comments. Yeah, Sharon ji, unmute it. I learned swimming.
Ashishi, I haven't been here for most of this class.
No problem. No
In
problem.
and out.
No worries. I just saw you and I'm going through like who I didn't get a chance to say hi, but it's okay. We can. Anyone else would like to take this one? Shirin ji, how are you doing?
Ayushi,
Want to try it out?
yes sir.
I learned swimming.
मैंने तैरना सीखा.
मैंने तैरना सीखा. Very good. Versus I have learned swimming.
मैंने तैरना सीख लिया है.
Very good. मैंने तैरना सीख लिया है. Okay. And this one it's always लेना because you benefit from it. There is no way you can swim it for others, right? I mean, so it's not like मैंने तैर दिया है. मैंने तैरना सीख लिया है. Right? Awesome. Nandini ji?
A silly question, maybe, Shuji.
Yes.
You were talking about the cleaning of the room. मैंने कमरा साफ कर लिया है. I have cleaned. Can you also say मैंने कमरा साफ कर लिया, as in I cleaned the room? कर लिया,
Yeah.
does it work without the hair also? That's also working.
It will work. You
As
don't
a
have
simple
to.
past tense, yes.
Yes, that's right.
कर लिया.
मैंने
Okay, thank you. That's a silly question.
Awesome. Anyone else? Any questions? Okay. For folks who watched live on Facebook, thank you so much. Just to kind of reiterate, these are two different sentences, but like I think it really comes as you sort of like, you've gone through all the grammar topics. The issue really comes up in your head, like, what is both the actions are done in the past. Okay, which sentence is more relevant? So that's when it comes. Okay, if you are at a happy place where you are not confused, stay there. Okay, you don't have to overthink it. So this is really like this is as like we are sort of wrapping up the book. We want to go over all the topics which were quite difficult or which were harder.
Ashuji,
Yeah.
Ashuji, Linda had a very interesting question in chat.
Read it. What is it?
Let's see if I
Linda ji,
can
you want to
find.
ask? You want to ask yourself, Linda ji?
Do all
Yeah.
intransitive verbs go with Lena? Lena.
Lena, sorry, I spelled it wrong. Yeah, Lena.
So as in all intransitive. So give an example, Linda ji.
No, you were talking about the swimming. You said swimming is always for yourself. You can't do it for anyone else. So that's why I was thinking if you
Terna.
perform an action like intransitive, like going, swimming, getting up or something, it will always take only Lena.
What do you think terna is? To swim, is it a transitive or intransitive?
Intransitive.
Transitive, right? So मैं okay, I think when we say सीखना मैंने okay. Who would like to Nandini ji, you want to take that one? You want to answer this one or?
I mean, generally speaking, if the compound verbs, if you're talking about it, I said Lena going, I was just trying to explain to her that generally there are various combinations for Lena, Dena, etc. It's not just simple as intransitive and transitive. There are certain patterns, and I think it only comes by hearing more. It's so hard to understand this towards you, away from you, who benefits, who doesn't benefit, or you. It's
And
for others' benefit.
I think in this case also you're using it with the other verb, right? So it's, I don't know if you recall, Linda ji, there was like a table also where you have one intransitive, one transitive, both sort of like, both are sort of like, so I don't know if you recall that one also. So it's like terna and seekhna. But I can look
Okay.
at if there's an easier way for me to kind of give a table or something, or but like there will not be a blanket thing for sure, Linda ji. I can tell you without like it's gonna vary.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Sharon ji.
Can I quickly try one?
Yeah, please.
Just simple. If I said I wrote a story or I wrote a poem, the first way, मैंने एक कहानी और कविता लिखनी, and then the second way, मैंने एक कहानी लिख ली or दी.
Very good. मैंने कहानी लिख ली है और मैंने कहानी लिख दी है. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. And Himani ji is saying, like, again, don't forget, in week and a half we'll have the story weaver practice session starting soon. And so definitely join it. And if you want to know about the schedule, hindiuniversity.org is your go-to source. Yeah. Yes. I'm going to stop the broadcast and I'll just take any kind of final questions from anyone. So